Brotherhood language approaching conversation kinetically about fiction. This is Black as
There they go.
Yeah.
What up, gangster?
Let's see. Why is it in reverse now?
It looks straight.
It's not reverse?
Not when I'm looking at it, no.
Talking about the black AF.
It's right.
Okay. Because it looks reverse to me, and it ain't never looked like that before.
Well, let me turn Peace mic on.
There, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Hey, homie, what's that you got in the background? What's going on with all that though?
I got to represent the show, right? I had the T-shirt last week.
Yeah. T-shirts. I don't want your nipples up, so I understand the T-shirt, but you know. You know what I'm saying? Pete, you my guy, but you cross-pollinate. You got to know which hood you in, bro. That's all I'm saying. You know, I know where you stay, kind of. I know where you stay.
I've been there once.
Right. I know it's not a long freeway down another long freeway to another long freeway, but yeah.
We definitely got to get you guys on our show.
We with that.
I'm with it.
You know how I said our
Generally,
show?
y'all fellas ready?
You know. Yeah, definitely.
What'd you say about your show? What'd you say?
I said it's our show because, like, Brian, you know, it's been over a year since the original co-host has been on the show. So
it's been way over a year, actually. I handed it off thinking that y'all was gonna shoot for the moon and the stars and the moon,
and we have.
You do great things. So I was good. I think I made the right choice. I'm a proud deadbeat dad watching you from a distance.
You're not first, you're last.
Shake and bake. Shake. Bake.
Right on. All right. Brotherhood language approaching conversation kinetically about fiction. This is Black AF. And we got somebody that jumped over the fence from the real press start. He put up his own background. This will be the last time you'll see this gentleman on the show. We will be substituting him for somebody else.
Somebody else.
Because he's got to go. Now, I didn't introduce you last time, but I'm going to introduce you this time. I want to give it up to special guest for the month, Pistol Pete. Markeziovic, the hottest 35, 15 man in the game. Like he gets 35 points, he gets 15 assists, no turnovers whatsoever at all. And as usual, my partner in crime, my Tony Stark, my Eric Leshner, to my Doom, to my Thor. He gave me the Thor name, so don't be mad at me. Give it up for the dude that's just really finessing, flexing, really, really hard with the stuff in the background he's got going on right now. He's playing humble. You should have seen him in soundtrack. Look, there you go. That's what he was doing in soundtrack. That's what he was doing in soundtrack. Something wrong with your neck? You got a crick? Brian, Ghostwriter, aka extraordinaire, Brian Bush, y'all. Give it up, give it up, give it up. Hey, hey, hey. All right, gentlemen. Glad y'all are here.
You know what?
Let's see.
Before we get started, I love his t-shirt. Look at that t-shirt. Look at Pete's t-shirt. That shit clean.
Put your chest into the screen. Now get closer, Pete. Get closer. This is an iPhone. What is that?
Conker's Bad Fur Day.
You remember that game?
Nintendo 64?
Wow.
Yes.
Wow. Hell yeah, I remember that game. Hell yeah. That was the only R-rated game Nintendo ever made. Ever.
Yep. Yep. That was a great game. I still have it. I still have the cartridge.
You still got a 64?
I do.
Wow. Wow. Well, golf clap.
Thanks. Yeah. Again.
Did I? Good eye with that, Brian. Good eye, guy. His eyes are working in it because he got two boxes in the back. That's just it's like a rack at least right there, right? Look at that. Look.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh.
I have so many styles. Forgive me. Yeah.
Way too many.
Black as Fuck headquarters is popping. I wish I was there, but you enjoy your sisters by yourself, you selfish bastard, you.
I've got two controllers for both.
Nice.
You sound like Kai. I got two phones and they all on red. You understand what I'm saying? They're all the batteries low. Hustler. Shout out to Kai. We got to get her back on the show soon. All right. I've been distracted. We're coming back to a segment that we started to tease the last episode, top 5 game franchises of all time. And that's going to be the headliner. But we're going to be talking about some WandaVision. We're going to be talking about some Coming to America. You're trying to get some shoes or some geek stuff. We got some Pumas. We're going to get into that as well. And I'm not going to say the whole thing, but it's coming to a theater near you. And all I'm going to say is this. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah, yeah. So that's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say.
One of the best
let's
intro
go to Brian
music.
because he got 7 systems right now. Yeah, ever. Oh, that might be a new category. Best intros ever. We doing that next week?
Ooh.
Are we doing that next week? We can do that next
week. We can do that next week. I got a couple right off the top of my head already.
You can't pick pole position because it wasn't on the TV long enough. Let's go. That's all. That's the only rule. That's the only rule. Pole position. All right, Brian. It's your world, bro.
I'm sitting here enjoying the concert, brother. Paul, he's over here killing it. Oh, Lionel Pendergrass ass.
That was a joy.
Teddy Ritchie face. Do the lean, brother. Do the lean.
Opposition.
Oh.
All right. So when we got to talk about a show or a movie that not everybody has seen yet, it's called The Dance. And we got two things for the dance segment. We're gonna let Brian go first because I haven't seen it. I don't know if Markezievich has seen it, but we got to talk about Coming to America 2. And he's got a review with no spoilers. That's The Dance. That's The Dance.
Ooh. Okay.
Go ahead, Brian. Go ahead, Brian. Talk about it, but don't talk about it. But
I'm
talk
gonna
about
put it this way: there's a lot of the old and a lot of the new, and they mixed it together, and it came out pretty good. I give it a solid B. You know what I'm saying? They did a good job. All the actors I liked. Even that one comedian that I was not really a fan of, whose name I can't remember. She was the black woman in Ghostbusters, the remake, the black chick. I can't think of her name for nothing.
Leslie Jones.
Leslie Jones.
Yeah.
Like for me, she's hit or miss. Like she's really hit or miss. And and I'm gonna say she hit this one. All of the old folks from the first Coming to America, except for maybe like one character. Like I said, I'm not gonna ruin it for you, but all of the old folks come back. The music was live. Eddie was Eddie.
I was Simi.
Simi was Simi, brother.
I was
Simi. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Tracy Morgan is in it. He killed the game. Yeah, I think you'll like it. It's not too long. It's about 2 hours, so it's a good amount of time. It's a good movie. It's solid. It's solid. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. What didn't you like without saying what you didn't like?
Well,
what didn't you like?
What they crammed a lot into that amount of time. Like it was almost like certain parts of the movie were rushed because it was a lot that they needed to go over because it's 30-year gap, right? So there was a lot that they needed to go over, but we enjoyed it. I liked it. I would recommend you watch it. Like I said, everybody from everybody from the original comes back. There's a lot of surprises too. People pop up and you're like, what the fuck are they doing here? But it worked. A lot of references to the old joints, a lot of references to a lot of the old Eddie joints, as a matter of fact. So I say watch it. I say you'll enjoy it.
Does Eddie have his own shared universe? Did they make it official?
Yeah.
Eddie's done a couple things that kind of crisscross. That's all I'm gonna say. And then yeah, I mean, I think you guys would like it. Of course, the story is going to be far-fetched, but I mean, it is what it is. It's a comedy. Tracy Morgan was in it. He did really good. But yeah, I would say that it's worth the time to watch it. And it's on Amazon Prime, and for whatever reason, I thought they was going to charge, and it was free. So it's free right now.
No, it was free. Yeah. Yeah. I got a question real quick though.
Sure.
If there's a shared Murphyverse, if you will, does Maximilian make any cameos?
Murphyverse.
All I'm gonna say is you need to watch the flick and just pay attention. It's like Pete. It's like Ready Player 2, Eddie Murphy style though.
Nice.
Yeah. Or Ready Player 1. Sorry.
Yeah. Well, 2 came out in book form. It's not a movie yet. So the book's decent. Not as good as the first.
So Pete, you haven't seen it either, right?
I haven't seen it. I was gonna watch it this weekend, but just got away from me with the fights and everything going on, and so I'm planning to watch it. I was gonna watch it again today, but I just didn't get a chance. You know, life gets in the way sometimes.
Yeah. I'm pretty. So you're saying you were upset with the lack of diversity is why you didn't see it? Is that what you're saying? Is that what you're really saying?
That's exactly it. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Okay. All right.
There was at least 2 Mexicans in it.
At least
2 Mexicans and a possible. You know, they had 3 Mexicans and a possible. You know what I'm saying?
No, you know what? It's funny. I was just watching the first one. Me and Jasmine watched the first one a couple of days ago, just in preparation of watching the second one. So,
right,
she loved it.
Right. That's what I got to do. That's exactly what I got to do.
Well, right now they're both on Amazon Prime, so
yeah,
and they both free.
But I think you got to pay for one.
Nah, it's free right now, bro.
Oh, is it free right now? Nice.
Yeah.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Okay.
Nice.
Well, is there anything else you want to leave us with, Brian, in terms of the
Nah, because
review?
if I say too much, it ruins the plot. You know what I'm saying? So I danced as best as I could dance around that.
Are you doing a bankhead bounce, bro? Is that what you're doing? Did you just bankhead bounce?
But I'm sitting down, so I can't. I'm sitting down. But yeah.
Okay. Which system did you watch Coming to America 2 on? Was it the Xbox? Or was it the 5? Or you got a Jaguar back there? Like, what was you watching?
No, it was on the Apple TV.
Oh, okay.
It's just the Apple TV.
You should have watched on the 5 to get true 4K.
I'm saving that for the games, brother. I'm saving that for the games. Don't even trip. Don't worry, you'll be invited to Black AF headquarters, once the vaccine has been spread evenly amongst peasants.
Yeah, I got my appointment.
That'll never happen. Evenly spread. P, you better get over there when you feel like it, because don't wait on that.
That's all right.
Just take that long freeway to that long freeway, down that long freeway from where you live. That's where you live. That's where you live.
Yeah, basically, yeah. That's okay. The PRPS headquarters has already had the 5 for a while, so I'm good.
Yeah, right. We catching up right now. We catching up.
Yeah, shit, y'all are lapping me. I'm looking for my PS3. I'm trying to get my backwards compatibility back, but that's a whole nother thing. We're not going to disclose more information about that. All right, it's my turn. And I know Brian hasn't seen it, but Pete, okay, let me just ask you: have you seen WandaVision?
Yes.
Okay. All right. All right. So we got to dance it for him because he's on my right. But
okay.
So
I mean, I can only kind of lean like a total also.
Hey, okay, here's the rules. Brian, you can lean all you want because you got 7 systems in the back. Pete, that's not our logo. You keep your ass straight. You keep lined up right here. You can do this. None of this. No. We're not sharing universes around here, bro. It's all black AF. It's all black AF. All of it. What's the name? WandaVision. I'm just gonna put this simply: was the best episodic show I've seen since The Watchmen.
Wow.
Yeah. I'm gonna put it right there. There's a lot of similarities, in my opinion, from a narrative standpoint to The Watchmen. Great job from the moment they started to the end. I'm gonna hold off. I'm gonna let Pete jump in. Go ahead. You got it, Pete. You got it.
Has Brian seen any of it at all, or is he completely?
I'm rewatching the entire MCU, and then you know how I do it, bro. It's gonna be a while.
Okay,
really
this is gonna be rough then, because
you can get that vaccine by then, and then get over there. Yeah.
So
I take it all back.
I think they did a really good job setting up the universe, setting up what's been going on, and like the first 3 episodes are a complete mystery. Like, what the hell? Like, you have no idea. I almost thought it was going to be kind of like a Twin Peaks kind of vibe. Like, it was just like a weird, like, just what the hell is going on? And then as they started to reveal things in the outer universe and things started clicking, like, I was part of the group that was on that one rumor train of, this is where they're going. This is what's going to happen. And, I was thinking the M word like everybody else, and then
the M
it
word.
just- the
What
M
you
word.
say? What you say?
But I mean, initially I was a little disappointed with the ending. The last episode, especially, is great. It blew my mind. But at the same time, I was disappointed that it didn't give that payoff that I was expecting. But it still opened up so much more. Like there's so much they can do with it now. It's like they answered stuff and then they give you way more questions just to be hyped for what the next movie is, which I think is Doctor Strange, correct?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh, now I gotta watch it.
Yeah.
Now I gotta watch it. Hold on,
Yeah.
Doctor Strange, and then Peter Parker with the multiverse and all that.
Yeah.
Multiverse
Actually, no, I think
starts with the Strange. That
And
starts
then
with
Peter-
Strange.
And then
Yeah.
Peter Parker has
Yeah.
to come next. Ah, okay, I'm watching that shit this weekend, bro. I'm binging that
Yeah,
shit this weekend.
You definitely got to.
Bro,
It's worth it. And episodes.
Go ahead.
I was like, the episodes they're short enough. They're only. I think the longest episode is 42 minutes. So I mean, it's easy. It's easy to binge, and it's worth it.
Bro, I've watched it twice. Like I've lapped it twice, just because it was worth it. Like it was that good. It was that good. Shout out to Dank Tank. They the one that got me onto it. Like he sat me down, he got me high, and said, "Watch this shit." I said, "Okay," and then I did it again on my own. I did the same thing and just ran the lap again. It's that good. It's not as good as The Watchmen, in my opinion, but in terms of comparing the two, it's right up there. It's for sure up there, for sure. I like how Black Twitter has acquiesced itself to the entire situation when it comes to the show. Pete, I mean, Brian, I know you've seen the memes. Like they've been memeing. Yeah, they've been on it. What my favorite is when he's got the turtleneck on, and then they put The Rock with his turtleneck on, and then they give him the herringbone chain. They give him they match the chains up, and then they giving him the hat, the dashiki, breaking it down to the white vision, and it's they talk about now Vision's half Wakandan because it's vibranium in the suit. Like they've been all over it. They've been all over it. I don't know how. I wish they could do a number 2. Because to Pete's point, the ending wasn't bad. It has some plot holes in it, in my opinion, but it wasn't bad. It was, but kind of like what they did with Ant-Man 2, who I think Pete is secretly. Ant-Man 2 was a movie that Ant-Man 2 was a movie that they found a way to move the story forward, tease what was coming, and give you a decent ending all at the same time. And I think they did this again with WandaVision. It was really good, bro. You need to go on and unbox one of them systems, record yourself, and then go watch you some WandaVision for sure. For sure.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's a perfect filler to keep us. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. I'll wait.
No, it's just like you said. It's a perfect filler. It's been it's been over a year since we've had any new Marvel content, and so this was the perfect way to get that fix again. And just what's next?
Yep.
So when is Falcon and Winter Soldier starting? That's
Clarence.
Pretty soon. Yeah, Clarence and Winter Soldier. When is that?
Clarence and the Winter Soldier.
That's coming up. I
believe that's the end of the month. Let me check.
Yeah, the 19th.
Yeah, and I feel sorry for them because they got to follow that shit. Good luck.
Yeah.
That thing has to be like Starsky and Hutch meets MacGyver to have a chance to be honest with
Yeah,
you.
because
Sprinkle of He-Man.
yeah,
Right.
because you know that was gonna be straight action, straight. It's gonna be that espionage action type thing, or WandaVision was the exact opposite. Like WandaVision had you feeling things, like especially as they got closer towards the end, you saw like it had the nostalgia of all those old shows, and then especially when they got to the '90s and everything, like all that nostalgia is like, oh shit, this is fucking awesome. Like I remember, I know where they're pulling this from, and then just with the interplayed emotion of the characters and what's going on, it got you. It got you. It just pulled you in with every episode, like to the point where it's like, fuck, why is it the next Friday already?
Yes.
So Winter Soldier.
Yeah. Right.
So Winter Soldier and Falcon, that's gonna be a tough one to like. They need to really bring the A game.
Yeah. One other thing I liked about the WandaVision before we move on, that was the greatest finesse flex I've ever seen on an entire other entertainment entity I've ever seen. The way they flipped the Quicksilver, I'm not gonna tell you.
Oh God, yes.
The way they did that, like I was like, damn, Disney, damn. And it kept happening.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
kept happening. So
that's the thing.
yeah, but you need to get with that. Yeah.
I'm gonna do it this
Because
weekend,
just when you thought, how are they gonna top this? They do something else.
Right. Okay. Let's see what else. We're going to move on. Keanu Reeves, John Wick, Neo, the guy in Speed. I forgot his name, so you got to forgive me. Is got a new comic book coming out called Berserker, BRZRKR. It's pretty clever. I see what you did there. It's co-written by him, it's created by him, and there's a character in the comic that looks a lot like him. This thing is selling already. This thing is in pretty high demand. I think it's already shipped 650,000. They had a they had
50-cent numbers.
Right. They ran a Kickstarter back in September for 50K, and the fact that a celebrity like him needed to run a Kickstarter is something else we need to talk about down the line later. But anyway, they ran a Kickstarter, and for 50K, ended up making 1.45 million from the Kickstarter. So, like,
hey man, hey, can you send homie an email for some of the projects we working on? Hey, Keanu.
like, bro, like,
for you, bro. Hey, Keanu.
Super flex. So, it's available now. I think it dropped. Was it last week, Brian? Was that a week ago? I think it was Wednesday.
I want to say it was last.
It's usually Wednesdays when new comics come out.
Yeah.
Right. So, yeah. I'm a fan of Keanu. Every movie I just named, I've seen and loved. I'm looking forward to the new Matrix. I probably won't read Berserker, but that's just because, I'm not getting $1.45 million for my 50K Kickstarters right now. Yeah, I'm not in that situation yet. So, but Brian, what's your thoughts on this? You checking out Berserker? How you feel about Keanu going his own way?
I like Keanu, man. I've always liked Keanu. Keanu, any action flick, any movie that he's in that's got action, I'm fucking with it. Yeah, I'm gonna fuck with that comic. I mean, that's Neo, man. Homie, truth be told, I damn near crashed my PS4 getting Cyberpunk 2077 because Keanu was in it. I didn't know shit else. I didn't know shit else about Cyberpunk, but Keanu
just knew Keanu was in it.
Keanu was in it, and he looked real John Wickish. I'm like, this nigga, he gonna be something, right? So right. I damn near
You're breathtaking.
PS4. I damn near destroyed my PS4 for Keanu. I'm a fan, Joe. Like this, I've always liked Keanu.
Yeah, man. I wish you would just make a John Wick comic. Then I would have bought it. I'd take back everything I just said because
Well, I'm looking forward to John Wick 4. It's got to be coming.
They're doing a 4.
Yeah,
They got to. Like the way,
I think they said they're doing another one.
they got to. It ended for him to do another.
Long as Common's not in it, I'm gonna watch it. That's all that matters to me.
Nah,
That's the key.
Common died in the other one. He ain't coming back, bro.
Yeah,
Like-
we don't know that. He's still rolling down them stairs, bro. Anything's possible. Pete, what's your thoughts on the comic? What you thinking? How you feel about all this?
If Keanu's involved, I'm in. Like, huge fan as well. Like Brian said, it's just from Bill and Ted on. Like, I mean, I've been a huge fan of him. I mean, I even enjoy the first Speed movie because it's so.
Right.
It's just, you know, you can't help but like the guy. You can't help but enjoy the stuff that he does, and so I'm in. I was just looking at some of the artwork on it right now as Brian was talking, and I mean, it sounds like if John Wick just got fused with Wolverine and became
Wolverwick?
Wolverwick, yeah.
I'm with it.
Wickerine.
Javarine. Oh, look at Javarine.
But I mean, the artwork is really cool, and so I mean, just the breakdown of it. A mortal warrior known as a berserker fights his way through the ages. I mean, I'm in. What more could you want? And it's Keanu.
Right, it's Keanu.
Right.
It's probably his life story. Goddamn, immortal guy doesn't
Right,
age.
Keanu does not age.
It's all the true stories of all the battles he's been in.
There's a handful of actors. There's a handful of actors out there, or I mean, I guess you would call them all actors. That when they come out, I'm gonna see their shit. And Keanu's always been there. The Rock has always been there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Harrison Ford, Denzel, Don Cheadle. So, and if them 4 dudes got together and made a comic book, I would buy it too.
Yeah, I just ain't got time. I'm looking for more Dr. Doom, and Dr. Doom. So that's all I'm looking for in terms of
What if
comics.
Keanu played Dr. Doom?
Okay. I'm in. I'm your Huckleberry. Let's run it. I'd go buy Berserker if it got me more Dr. Doom. Yes, it would. All right. Well, shout out to Keanu. We're gonna get you on the show one day. But let's talk about these Thundercat shoes.
Nigga.
Like for real, Thundercat shoes. Like thunder, Thundercats. Shoes. Yeah, you can get you some airlinos for $120, or for all the ladies out there, you want to get you something a little fancy, but it's comfortable and it's nostalgic. You can get the Air Chitaras. You know what I'm saying? That's just drop 120 with that. They got the accessory with the pump. You can switch the back of the heel and put the pump on it. I'm lying about that. It does come with a staff. It does come with. I'm joking. And then you got the Cat Slayer sneakers, which this is funny because Panther didn't get no shoe. You know damn well Tiger wasn't getting no damn shoe. Like, are you rocking out right now? Are you really? Are you playing some Earth, Wind, and Thunder right now?
I was in it. You know how I feel about the Thundercats, man. They right there.
Yeah.
Right next to the
They're
right there.
That show is trash, Brian. I've been telling you that for years. It's trash. It's trash.
I will slap you through the fucking TV set.
You know what? That's blasphemy. Blasphemy.
Pete, you know it's trash. What happens when Thundercats comes on? The intro happens, Mumra says, I'm going after Lino. He pulls out the sword. They roll the credits. We'll see you tomorrow, 3:30, Fox 11.
That's all they need to do, though.
Every show.
That's all they needed to do.
Come on, Silky. Silky.
Let's not even talk about that. Because there's an episode where they turn Tiger into a crackhead. Yes, a fucking crackhead. That's how you knew they was filming that in LA. They was going up Fairfax to Hollywood. And they was like, oh wait, we can put that in the script.
You know what episode always stands out to me the most?
What's that?
The episode that always stands out to me the most is there was when Mumra made a copy of Panthro, and he had to fight himself in like this gorge.
Yep.
And yeah, I mean the most badass character had to fight himself in a fucking gorge that was exploding with steam all around him. The fucking thunder tank was all upside down and fucked up. It was a masterpiece.
And what about when the new Thundercats came, man? Puma? Come on, man. Come on, man. Come on, man.
Puma? Oh, because you had a crush on Puma? The show's good now? Is that what you're saying?
I never saw the new episodes.
See, you don't even remember.
Man,
I never saw the new
one. The original one. The original one. This one. Volume 2. This one.
Oh. I thought you were talking about the new, the new.
No, the new. No, they had a new that was kind of whack, but then they had a new that was dope. There was one season that Skinny got me to watch. That it was kind of fresh.
Pete, you need to watch the one that came out in 2010. You need to give it some time, bro. I'm serious.
Yeah. I heard that one was good, but because they came out with the one right after that.
That was
and it was all like, yeah. It was like, we're the Thundercats! And it was all like super, it was a kid. Like,
yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, this one,
garbage.
The people from Aang, Avatar: The Last Airbender, and Voltron, this was their first project before all those happened. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, see, that's something I definitely need to check out.
Yes, you do. Yes, sir.
That's just right up my alley.
So
I don't agree with Skinny often, but you should watch that.
I definitely will.
As you show us, as you lean so we can see the PS5. You ain't fresh, bro. You is not fresh.
I don't gotta be. They is.
So with all that being said, none of us are buying Thundercat shoes, is what we've come from this.
In them Panthros.
I might buy. I don't know. I might buy the black ones. Those are pretty dope. I might pick those up.
I don't like white soles, bro. I'm good. And then, they got these lino joints with the Carolina blue, but I'm cool. I was never a lino fan. It was trash to me. And
yeah,
if you think about it, why aren't those kid shoes called the Wally Kits and the Wally Cats? That makes all the sense in the world, right? Like Heidi ain't got their own shoe. They the kids.
Yeah,
it's for the kids.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I do like the trend of geek shoes coming out. I mean, Reebok released the alien stuff. The trend of geek shoes, like pop culture and nerd based shoes. Like Reebok released the Bug Stompers a while back.
Yeah.
And those were they had the Ripleys, and then they had the Space Marines, and then they had the Xenomorphs. The Xenomorphs were sick, but you couldn't get them anywhere. PlayStation hooked up with Nike, and they had a PS4 and a PS1 shoe release. And the PS4 one, the tongue actually lit up and pulsed like the PS4 did. Like that bar on the PS4, the tongue actually had the PlayStation logo on one, and it had the Nike. Oh no, they had what was the player? Forget his logo, but they would pulse just like the they would do the orange, and then it would go blue and pulse like the PS4. They were dope.
You know which ones I still want to this day?
Which ones?
I want them Air Martys, brother. I want them Back to the Future 2s, bro. I seen them. They came out, and then like they just disappeared. But
I got me a pair. I got me a pair.
They cost $1,200, right?
Not thanks to eBay. Nope. Nope.
Now, do yours light
Are
up?
these-
Do they?
Mine's light up, bro. They light up. B.
Nah.
I'm gonna need to see them shits. I'm gonna need them next
Yeah, I
week.
won't. Yeah.
Next week, put them up.
And they black too. I did it for the culture. They black, B. They black. They black.
Hey, you heard of him, Pete? He better have them shits on the screen next week.
Yeah.
Post them on the Instagram feed.
That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. It ain't a PS5, but I'm going back to the future. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Sort of.
There you go.
All right. So I like how we talked about all the other shoes that we wanted outside of the Thundercats.
Outside of the Pumas.
Outside of the Thundercats, yeah.
I ain't never fucked with Pumas like that, so.
Me
But
neither.
I'll fuck with Panthros.
If they had Panthers, that's the one I'd be getting.
If they had Panthers?
Right.
Yeah, y'all found the best colors. The dark blue with the gray would have been dope. Instead of that orange and blue.
What if they actually had the Tigers on here and they're just invisible and they're like $99 in this case?
Oh, shit.
Good job, Tiger. Good job. Silky.
Way to go, Silky.
Silky, you
Silky.
fucking crackhead, you. All right, let's keep moving. Y'all are silly. Y'all being silly tonight. All right, I guess we got to get into it. So to keep it somewhat balanced, because it's gonna get out of hand, because that's what Black AF do. Let's get to this top 5 game franchises of all time. Now, gentlemen, I got a question to y'all. Are we sticking strictly to games for game franchises?
Ooh, see, that's a good question because I was going to ask that same thing. Because I got one game. Like, it's a solo game. It doesn't have any sequels. So it's not a franchise. It's just the one game.
No, we're talking franchises. It's got to have at least, what's a franchise? At least 3?
What, at least 3?
Let's say at least 3.
Yeah, at least 3. Okay, that's rule number 1. But hey, Pete, I say you can put that as an honorable mention. I got 8, 3 are honorable mentions. So
okay,
you want to drop that one?
I got 9.
Okay, you can't count. You can't count.
I'm only gonna say 5, nigga. I can count. 1, 2.
How much money you got, Smokey? Huh? How much money you got?
20.
My question is, now when it comes to the game franchise, are we strict? So are we taking in consideration like the other things that have come from this game franchise? Like if they got movies, something like that? Is that a part of the, you know what I'm saying?
You can bring that up, but the foundation is it has to have at least 3
that's the criteria.
Yeah.
Yeah, 3 games.
3 games. All
right. I'm with it. Go ahead, Brian. Lead it off. Kenny Lofton, this motherfucker. Go ahead. What you got?
Oh, man. Well, the first one, it has to be in my top 5. I don't know what number it actually falls, but Pete knows I'm going to say Assassin's Creed for me because of the story.
Really?
Yes, because of the story. Yep. It's layered. It's 3 layered story intertwined. It goes back like Assassin's Creed, bro. I got every single one of them. And here's the thing. You know how I am. Y'all know I'm a writer, so you know how I am about story. Story is very important to me. So important, in fact, that I'll deal with all the bugs in these games. These games be buggy as fuck. Valhalla.
That's why I don't fuck
Valhalla. Nigga, Valhalla. That shit was freezing on me every couple of hours, man. The latest.
Damn.
One, right, the latest one. The story was cold. The story was so cold. They had so much shit in the game, but the shit kept breaking down. And I'm like, nigga, I got to see the end of this shit. I got to see the end. So I put myself through that. Yep. I was walking on hot coals on my tippy toes to finish this fucking game because I like the Assassin's Creed story. The story is that thick. Now, the movie that came out, but the video game story, the core story of that shit is sick to me. It's always been sick.
Okay. All right. All right. That's a surprise. To be top 5 all time, Honorable
me?
mention, maybe.
For me,
Yeah.
yes, because of the story. It's
Okay.
in my 5.
For sure. Pete, let it rip.
My top number. You want me to start my bottom or am I starting my top?
Just give us one. Go from the bottom, and then
Okay.
we'll go up. Yeah.
From the bottom. I'm gonna go Mortal Kombat top 5.
Wow. This is okay. All right, elaborate, bro. Flagellate.
Okay, so
Flagellate.
let me tell you why. So I remember sitting in arcades and everyone's lined up for that fucking Street Fighter cabinet. And Street Fighter was dope, but Mortal Kombat brought something completely new. So the fact was that once you dominated somebody, you could add that extra bit of fuck you on top of it and kill them. There was all like Street Fighter always had these rumors about Chun-Li in the handcuffs or Guile and something, and like I forgot what he did. But there was all these urban legends about Street Fighter, but you couldn't do any of that shit. In Mortal Kombat, you could kill somebody and set them on fire. You could beat somebody so bad and set them on fire just for that little extra bit of fuck you, I beat you.
I love
That's
it.
funny.
I love it.
And then the fact that they took that concept and Mortal Kombat is part of the reason the ESRB exists. Like
Yes.
that's how innovative this game was, and so it was just so different from everything else. Then it inspired like there's how many Mortal Kombat knockoffs are there? There's like one called Tattoo Fighter where the characters had a bunch of tattoos that they summoned.
Stop. You making shit up. Stop it.
No, I swear to God. And then Primal Rage. Primal Rage was a knockoff of Mortal Kombat. They just used dinosaurs and Ace. You know, there's so many games that stole that fatality feature and put it into their game. So Mortal Kombat just upped the game and added the X-ray moves and added the friendships and babalities and bestialities and all that other stuff. And it just became this monster that like it spawned 2 movies. It's a 3rd one's coming out that looks fucking amazing. It's just and then the lore of it. Like I mean, it's inspired by Enter the Dragon, Big Trouble in Little China. I mean, it's got all these awesome fucking like inspirations in the story itself that just add to the storyline, like the basic storyline of it's an island tournament, people die. I love it.
Who's your favorite MK character? Who do you play with?
Right now, I'm a noob main. I got to use Noob Saibot.
Hey, Noob is
the
nice.
Original Sub-Zero.
Noob is kind of nice. He's kind of nice. I don't like his customization stuff. It's really bland.
Yeah.
But see, they gave all that to Scorpion. Scorpion is like the MJ. He got the air kill yous. He got the swoop slashes. Like he got all the gear that you can get. Like no one else has got gear like Scorpion. It pisses me off.
Because he's the creator's favorite character. The creator of the game, that's his favorite character. That's why he's the logo of the studio now.
Right. He got the best fatalities.
If it wasn't for Noob, it'd be Sub-Zero.
I don't like the new stuff, but that's a whole nother conversation. Like, yeah.
So Skinny, name one. Name one of your top 5.
Yes. This is tough for me. Wow. I'm going to go. If we're going 5 and up, I'm gonna go Batman.
Nice.
Batman. Arkham Asylum was fire. Arkham City was even more fire. The 3rd one I didn't play because that was another daddy. That's a stepchild. That don't count.
What about Knights though?
But Arkham Knight, I never felt more like Batman than Arkham Knight. Like, I was beating up 6 dudes, and in the middle of them, I called my Batmobile. I finished them off, hopped in my ride, burned out for 88 miles per hour, jumped out of the thing, grappled, flew my wings open, and then triple killed 3 other dudes on the other side of the platform. I was Batman.
Yep.
I was Batman. So, and then that one, you got to fight Deathstroke in the Batmobile with those missions. You got to finish him off, and you don't have a radar. Deathstroke's one of my favorite characters. Everything they did with the Batmobile just added to the situation. They really couldn't do more with the combat system, which I was fine with, but everything they included with the Batmobile was fire. My only issue with Arkham Knight is that they ran that Jason Todd story again, which they ran it to a T. They didn't change it at all. But
yeah,
you're talking about like
they added an extra step into it.
Yeah, they put him in some armor instead of a leather jacket.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, the whole time I'm like, you're not gonna do the exact same thing, are you? You're gonna do the exact same thing? Wow. Yeah. Okay. All right. You're lucky this game's you're lucky that's Deathstroke. But
the thing that made me mad about that game is when they in all the ads and everything leading up to the game, brand new villain, never before seen in the DC universe. Brand new, the Arkham Knight was but then he took the mask off and there was another mask underneath it.
Yeah. But that would be number 5 for me. That'd be number 5 because Joker's Carnival in Arkham City is Brian already knows that was the last thing I had to do to get my platinum in that. He already knows what I had to go through that. So I'm not gonna talk about it. Anybody that's done Joker's Carnival knows what I've been through. So that's it for me. All right, Brian, let's get back to you. What's your next one?
I'm gonna have to go with the Grand Theft Auto series. Grand Theft Auto series.
And, you know what? Yeah.
You know,
that's a good one.
To lean on what Pete said, if it wasn't for Mortal Kombat and people pushing the line and getting the ESRBs or whatever, Grand Theft Auto might not have been there. You know what I'm saying? And they pretty much up the ante every single time they release a game, and it gets better and better and better. And only thing though, I'm a little sick because we should be on Grand Theft Auto 10 by now. These niggas have been re-releasing 5 since 2014. But I ain't
still making millions.
Bro, the game still go. Tell me the game don't go.
It's been on 3 consoles. 3 consoles. PS3, PS4, PS5. And 3 fucking consoles.
And here's the thing, bro. The game still go. I'm gonna tell you. I threw that shit in the other day, and I'm like, man, like it's based on LA, and we stay out here. So like, I'm going through Hollywood, like mashing niggas. Like, you can't do it in real life, but yeah.
I remember him. He was on La Brea. Get that.
And we used to play online, bro. We used to meet Pete and the TRPS folks, man. We had a clan online, man. Like we was like,
it's still there. We're still pretty high up there.
Yo, we was murking niggas. This dude went and created my character for me, and he had me with, you know how I dress, man. You know my everyday. You know how I be looking.
The fashionable headwear.
He had home.
Did you just pull out a statue of yourself on the show, bro? Did you just do that?
Yes. He had his character looking just like me, man. He looked just like me. He even had me hooked up with a condo in the part of the city that I wanted a condo in. Because at the time, when the game first came out, I didn't have no bread like that. I'll be honest with you, I was a transplant. And so when the game first came out, I was still, stacking or whatever. And I told Pete, I'm trying to get a spot like, down, over here. So we get in the game. This fool has set me up. I had a condo in Hollywood. I had this dope ass whip that was real similar to the one I got now. And homeboy looked just like me. Man, I couldn't wait to play that game and run up on pop, 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 pop. We had tanks. Bro, we had tanks fully outwear tanks, had everything on it. We couldn't be touched. And when you play it online and you murk niggas, they come back, they can come look for you. but they couldn't fuck with us. We was laying niggas out. We was laying them out.
Yep.
Like we would kill them and wait for them to come back just to kill them again.
Yeah, we would just post up and just wait.
Yeah.
I might have some of those replays saved somewhere. I'll look for them.
Dude,
I'm sure I have a lot of them.
We need to get back on that. Like, I will reinstall that motherfucker. The PS4 is right here. I will reinstall that motherfucker, and we can go at it, Joe. Like, GTA definitely up there. GTA definitely up there.
Definitely.
And all the pop culture references that they make.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, it's not just senseless violence. It's a very intelligent story for each one of them. So,
and then I have a very limited experience with GTA, but you know, when they started dropping in the radio stations with all the hits, like bro, like you could just turn that on and fuck around with the fuck around and have a good day. Like, I'm with that. Yeah, great choice. I'm with that. P, what you got? Since you laced him, what you got for yourself?
So, so you guys already hit two of my top, so I'm gonna skip those two. So Batman is in one of my top, and Assassin's Creed is one of my top. So I'm gonna skip those two. But I'm gonna bring up another fighting game, the Def Jam fighting game series.
Hey, hold up, hey man, look, hey bro, listen, bro, I want to hug you right now, man. I really want to hug you right now. Like, no one understood how nice that game was. Like,
right?
The mechanics of the game. Yes.
The first one was good. It was really good. I think the storyline was okay. Like, here's a bunch of rappers. They're in a fight club for whatever reason. But the mechanics of it, the animations, the art style was amazing. Then they went into Fight for New York, and they just upped everything. The creative characters, because the first one you had to pick from like 4 generic characters. Yep. And then they gave you a creative character, and the creative character was so well put together. And then you got your fighting style, and then you picked a second fighting style, and you could like merge and like you train. And then just the way they brought the rappers in, they brought everyone's different personalities in, and it just everything they added to it was so good. And then Snoop plays such a good fucking villain. Like with that fucking hat, and just like you look like a vampire walking out and shit, and like some kind of vampire pimp. And it was just vampire pimp. It was just so. It's just everything about that game was great. And then even when I took it to the PS3 and that third Def Jam game that was just called Def Jam, that one it went away from the original games, but it brought its own unique style to the point where the like whoever the character you're using had a signature track, and as your momentum, as you were winning, your track started playing in the background. And if your track was playing, you did more damage. And if you did combos to the beat, you did more damage. And then like if you were losing and you were able to get a minute, you could do that DJ turntable scratch and swap to your song and try to make a comeback. So I mean, it was just like everything. Like I just love everything they put in that game. And there's a rumor that they're doing another one.
I think that's fact, bro.
you know one of my favorite parts about that game is a Wu-Tang song that got released that ain't nowhere else but on that fucking game. And back when LimeWire was out, I was able to rip it and get a copy of that shit. It's a Wu song that go.
Whoa. Which,
you know what I'm talking about? Are you ready? Strapped in your seat, sunset, and you got actually kills it on that shit.
Oh, okay. Wait. This is funny.
Yes, because you know how I feel.
But listen,
you guys haven't heard the song?
No, but relax.
Yeah.
Hey, let me translate for Pete real quick. It's not an exclusive song. It's on you guys' album. Just no one's ever heard you guys' album except for me. So I've heard the song. I know the song. As soon as you said it, I said, I know what that is. That's Golden Arms. But I know he hasn't seen or listened to Golden Arms because he fucking hates you guys.
I can't stand you guys, man. All right, but he,
Oh man, that's so
okay. Hey, so really quick, while I'm subject of Wu-Tang, one of my honorable mentions. It's not a franchise, but that Wu-Tang fighting game that came out for the PS1. I have it.
Yeah.
Dude, it's still like the storyline is cheesy as fuck. It's the Wu-Tang's Sifu who trained them in martial arts all these years. He was basically Splinter, and they were the Ninja Turtles. Gets kidnapped and taken to China, and they gotta fight their way from New York to China. But gameplay-wise, the way the arena combat, because you could play 4 fighters on one.
Exactly.
It was a 3D 4-player arena. Yep, and then like the way they did the fatalities were depending on like you had to unlock the other fatalities, but depending on how whatever hit. So if you did a high punch that you killed them, it would do a different animation for each different like whatever the last hit was. Yep. And then each character's fighting style was so different. Like Old Dirty Bastard has the drunken style, and he would do that freaking stuff. Yeah. Yep. And Inspector Deck had the fingers. It was.
Hey, Master Killer was the nicest dude on that game though, and he had the best fatalities. The shittiest dude Wu-Tang had the best fucking player in that game. but
didn't that one have an exclusive song? Yeah, because there was that one song that played.
Yeah,
maybe that's the one I'm talking about. That might have been what I'm talking about.
You Guys' track was on there, and there were 2 other like at that point they were exclusive tracks. The story behind that game is there was a game called Thrill Kill. Right. That was 4-player Mortal Kombat 3D. If Power Stone and Mortal Kombat came together on a shitty budget, that's what Thrill Kill was. Yep. And they couldn't get the game cleared. So the company went to Wu and said, listen, how do you feel about this? And sure enough, that's how we got here and we talked about it. Because the game was legit. It was 4 players. Yeah. It was Wu. Like I was in. We was in. We get down on that all the day. So
you know why Thrill Kill was shut down though? Why they were like, nope. After like with all the violence and everything?
I don't remember. I thought it was the budget, bro.
No, most of the characters were BDSM style characters. Yes. It was like it had super sexual overtones. They didn't care about the violence, but it was super sexual. Everything was like super sexual and like all kinds of like whips and chains and and so I mean even to the point who had the microphone with the whip?
Was that Jizza? Was that Jizza?
I think it was Jizza. It was Rizza or Jizza, one of the 2. No.
I don't remember. It's been a while. I don't remember.
But you know what I'm talking about. But so that one, it was initially a dominatrix character that had the whip, and they just swapped the skins, and then we got Wu-Tang.
I didn't buy the game because we was burning games. We had the oven. We was.
You had to hold the PlayStation open and switch this real quick.
Yeah, you heard it go when it made that. Yeah.
We had the upgraded chips, bro. We had the yeah. All right, but I like how you snuck in 2 right there. That's real smooth, Pete. The real press start. We know where you at, bro. Long freeway. So I'm gonna throw a curveball because that's what I do. No one's played any of these games. I already know that, but Saga Frontier is I'm putting number 4, and it didn't sell well. But in the first game, they were the first ever RPG where you could learn moves in mid-combat. And that was mind-blowing at the time. And then in the second game, how do I put this? I had never seen a game kill the main character midway through, 1. And then 2, you know how they tell you something in the story of like, oh, this character is affected by this, and they have to do that in the story. This was the first game I ever saw that actually play out in the gameplay itself, where like that's something you had to pay attention to. And I didn't at first, and Brian knows this part of the story. Pete, the boss, the first time I played the Saga Frontier 2 boss, I played it for over 4 hours. One boss fight. And I lost. I fucking lost. And let me see if I can summarize this real quick, because I'm gonna talk about the third game real quick. But the main character was this this prince that got kicked out of his kingdom because he couldn't pass his bar mitzvah. Like he needed to be able to create energy through the family crested sword, because that's the ritual to pass on the kingdom. He failed, and the king was like, "You're not my son, you're not my seed, get the fuck out of here." And then the mom stepped in and she was like, "Whoa, you can't do that, that's your child, what are you doing?" And he looked at her and said, "Bitch, you can get it too, get the fuck out." And he kicked them both out. And the son never let it go. And so he knew he couldn't do this magical thing, so he started making weapons. All his weapons was steel. He had these big ass weapons that was all steel, and he was making them by hand. And he went around taking every piece of the country by himself. He went on like Genghis Khan type of role. Like he started taking this country and this country, and then he brought it all back. But then he dies midway through the game, and you're playing with the second character. When you get to the end, if your characters don't have on his steel, all your top shit doesn't work. But they never tell you this. You got to figure it out while you in there. And that's how I lost 4 hours playing that dude. Because I was maxed out with all the best shit, but it was all like, enchanted this and magic of this. Yeah. So when I switched everybody to steel, not gonna lie, it was done in 4 minutes. I got the whole I was so mad and happy at the same time. So that's what Saga Frontier 2 gave me. And then the third one, really fucked the third one, because they made me fight 17 bosses in a row with the one black character in the game. And I did it. I fucking did it. But no other character had to fight 17 in a row, and no other character was black. It was racial. It was fucking racial. It's not about diversity. But I had a great time doing it because I'm a masochist. So thank you, Saga Frontier. And that's my rant on Saga Frontier. So, yeah. All right, B.
Nice.
Let's keep rolling. Let's get into you. What's your next one? What you got? Where you going?
These ain't in order, but I have a tie between 2K and Call of Duty, but it's for different reasons. I mean, it's for similar reasons. I mean, they did totally different games, but for similar reasons.
Wow. Okay.
You know me. I love when motherfuckers take shit over. Now, I don't know. Now, 2K been out for 21 years at this point. But 2K is the reason why NBA Live don't exist no more. And Live was the game. Live was the game we was all fucking with when we were shorties. Like, we played Live. Like, every time Live came out, we was playing that shit. 2K comes along, and niggas was like, fuck that. Another thing, 2K came out with a football game that was giving Madden the fucking business. And I don't remember exactly when that shit came out, but 2K came out with a football game. It had to have
1999.
Okay.
1999.
It was giving Madden the fucking business. And then, John made a phone call like, no, we're not doing this shit. And they shut it down. But
boom.
Right. 2K, that 2K football game was actually, in my opinion, that year between 2K and Madden, it was a lot more user friendly. It wasn't no bullshit cheating shit going on. Madden be cheating. Like Madden cheats. Madden's one of the cheatingest ass games I've ever seen.
Madden fucking be cheating,
Madden
bro.
cheats like a motherfucker.
You still cheat,
he says every game cheats.
He said every game. No, Madden cheats, my nigga. No, Madden is bad. Like I seen a dude basically get tackled and throw the ball and hit a nigga at 60. Touchdown. Madden be bullshit. But
no, Madden be bullshit for real.
2K came out with that football game. They were shutting shit down, and I know there was some phone calls made to shut that down because that game was too dope to not have any extra ones come out. So that's why I fucks with 2K because, like, I mean, I played ball. I almost played in college, whatever. And so I've always been a ball player. But besides that, like just the way 2K was, they run. It's like they got a monopoly on that particular sport. Ain't nobody really fucking with that. And Lavish tried to come out. It's trash. It's trash. Like they giving it to you for free right now. Like niggas don't like it keeps coming out and they just give it away. You know what I'm saying? They give it away. It's like a package deal. You go to a Clipper game, they give you NBA Live for free. Like the shit, you know what I'm saying? It's trash.
Oh, that's funny.
Right. Okay. So Key said it. EA bought the whole NFL license to stop 2K from making that fucking.
That's how
shit.
good that game was.
That's how good that shit was. That shit was a fucking man. That shit was cold. If I still had it, I'd probably still rock with it. I would still rock with it.
EA likes fucking over gamers, so.
Yeah, and microtransactions and all that shit. And I say the same thing. I say the same thing for Call of Duty.
EA could eat a bowl of baby dicks.
I say the same thing for Call of Duty as far as what it's done with its competitors, in the sense that there are games that you could argue are better than Call of Duty iterations. You can say that. But Call of Duty is like that solid B+ every time. And there's games that be A.
Consistent.
Right. There's games that be A. But Call of Duty has like man, legions and legions of loyal fucking followers, man. Like they ain't going nowhere, Joe. They release the same shit over and over and over and over again. They tweak it a little bit, but it's basically the same shit. And they kill the game. Like they kill the game. Battlefield ain't fucking with it. I like Battlefield. Battlefield ain't fucking with, like, none of those are really keeping up with it. They just keep fucking going and going and going. You know, they straight like dynasties, man. Like dynasties, man.
Yeah.
Like 17 championships and looking for more type shit. Like, nigga, it's crazy. It's crazy.
You can't deny what Call of Duty's done at all. Well, be it Infinity Ward, be it Treyarch, be it Sledgehammer, they do a great job with them.
See, that's how. Like I've never been a COD guy, but like I knew it was gonna be like, if it wasn't Infinity Ward, I knew it was like, you know, it was some masterpiece shit. Because Infinity Ward was the main guys that was like making the Call of Duties. Like you really had to check the label when it came to COD. Like is it?
You know what?
If anything Treyarch made, I was not fucking with at all. No way.
I'm the opposite.
Really?
I was the opposite until the latest Modern Warfare. The latest Modern Warfare, Infinity Ward just upped everything they could do. This new Black Ops, Treyarch did it, and it like, because the first two Black Ops were amazing. I loved them. They were my favorite Call of Duty games. This last Modern Warfare was really good, and then the new Black Ops is like, I've gotten more used to it, so I'm liking it now. But Modern Warfare right out the box, I was loving it.
Oh yeah,
right on.
It was
right
the
on.
prequel. It was technically the prequel to the other ones, right?
Well, once they killed off Ice Cube, I was done. So.
All right, Brian, I gotta commend you. You finessed like 3 games into that one. That's a PS5 move right there. Congratulations.
It is. It's all those extra gigs. Look at all those.
He said 2K. Gigs. He said 2K, right? As long as I got more like 2K ball, 2K football, 2K da da da. But all right, Pete, what's your next one? What you got? Where you at?
So since you guys already called up 2 of mine, I'm gonna give you one of my honorable mentions. It's not an actual franchise, but it's one of my favorite games of all time, and it literally, like, part of the inspiration of my logo for the TRPS. And if you actually, when you go check out our website or you check us out on Spotify, our logo, that Blade Video Games, comes directly from this game.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
From Mark Echo's Getting Up. It was a tagging game, all about, you played a character named Coltrane, who he was just a nobody in his neighborhood, and he started tagging train everywhere. Then he goes and hits up in this pool, and then like the government is trying to censor. I think the story that's based on an older movie that like the guy's brother gets locked up, and this guy goes and starts tagging free whatever his brother's name is everywhere. It's very 1984, where like everything's being watched, and the police are like what is it? the KGB, and everything's super locked down. Everyone's being super watched, and this one kid is just able to get around and climb over. It was like it had the parkour element to it, platforming. Then it had the tagging element to it as well. And one of the things I liked was it wasn't just like, here's a cursor, swipe around. No, like you actually you had to shake. No, you didn't have to shake the controller, but you had to do something. You had to like shake like the can, and like so you could spray. And then like as you were tagging, you had to keep shaking the can. If you held too long, you would drip. And like it actually that's what I used to do. I used to be out on the streets hitting up pieces on the freeways and shit. So playing that game was so accurate and it was so good. And then like it had P. Diddy was he was the voice of one of the main antagonists or your main rival. He wasn't the main antagonist of the game, but he was your main rival. And it was such a good game. The storyline was so good. Gameplay was so good. And then you met all these graffiti legends as you played. These guys actually worked with the developer and worked with Mark Echo and like.
Wow, I didn't know that.
All of Train's graffiti was actually like it wasn't like this generic just bullshit graffiti that was everywhere. It was like really good shit. And then on top of that, they added a multiplayer fighting game first, like because the combat was really good. And they added where you could pick different characters from the game and fight one-on-one with somebody else, like sofa multiplayer. And it's just one of those games I highly recommend.
That's what's up. Now, it took me a minute when you said it, but I was like, oh yeah, but I never got into it. The closest I got to was Jet Grind Radio, which I think was a more friendlier version. It wasn't as that was more contemporary. That was a bit more Disney.
Yeah, it was more cartoony, and yeah. And that one too. That one had really good like on the Dreamcast at least. You could upload your own pictures, and they'd come out super grainy, but you could make your own graffiti in it.
I didn't know that, bro. Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah, the Dreamcast was. Oh, fuck Sega. I cannot. God damn it. Oh God.
Sega Dreamcast brought us the first 2K, so
your entire category of number 3 came from the Dreamcast. All right. It's my turn. You know what? I gotta do it. Resident Evil.
Woo!
Resident Evil.
Sir. Yes, sir.
There was nothing like number 1. And they found a way to flip it and make it even better with number 2. Like when they did the Leon and the Claire, you had the splits story, and what you did in one affected the other. And Leon was on his first day in the job. He's like, why ain't nobody listening to me? I'm about to get this leather jacket in like 10 years. Y'all need to fuck with me. Like, what's going on? Like, and then we used, my friend used to call, that was the first time Mr. X showed up, coming through the fucking door and blasting through the goddamn hallway. They used to call him Shaq back in the day, like with the like, yo, you see Shaq come through? Like, yeah, man, yeah, I did. Fuck him. But and then all the Wesker quotes from like on the PlayStation 2, we make content with Chris in the name just so we can say, Chris, stronger and better and faster. Like he was so ridiculous. He was so over the top. And number 4 is like changed the way you play third-person shooters.
I'm about to start playing that now.
Like let's just and number 4, my handgun game was nice. I had the accuracy with the headshot joint. I pop you in your knee, I knock you down, and I was popping the homies. I had ammo for everybody. Everybody was getting worked. And that game was just, I had a great time with the game. And number 5, and before I go to number 5, in number 4, low key playing the inventory system was a game within the game. I loved trying to make all your shit fit within that little diagram. Like, okay, no, I can get that. I can get the rectangle in there. I can get that new target in there. I'm gonna eat this weed. I'm gonna mix it with this red. I'm gonna get these 4 spots. I'm gonna flip it. I'm gonna like it was a game within the game. And I was mad when they changed it in 5 for no reason, because that's what Capcom do. They change shit for no fucking reason. But I couldn't be too mad because that had the co-op. You could get down with your boy on the co-op with in the game with Chris, with going against Wesker. Like, so it's far from perfect, but you're talking about like transcending the genre like 2 times, 3 times over. Like, it's Resident Evil for me.
What do you think about the remakes?
So they look great. Because they all look like Resident Evil 4. I ain't got a chance to really sit down and put a hole in them yet, but trust me, I'm definitely doing 2. And they fucked up the remake for 4. I might just go back to my 4 on PS2 because that's the best one in my opinion. But
8 looks great. 8 looks fucking amazing.
Resident Evil, bro. Yeah. And there's a reason, as I talk about, because I think I got 2 more. There's a reason why, which I'm bringing all full circle. Brian, what's your next one?
Resident Evil, that was a great choice, man. Like, I actually found, like, back in the day, the old ones with the blocky ass characters, nigga, that shit would scare me. The first time I fought that big ass spider in the first one, nigga, I'm like, you know this shit ain't real, but it's just the way they did it, and for its time, it looked great. You know what I'm saying? And
those creepy loading screens. Every time you open the door, that door just gave you the chills. Like what's next? What's going to be behind the door?
Yeah. And then just the story behind all of that. You know me and the stories. Like, it wasn't just some bullshit zombie shit. It was reasons for the zombies being there. It was reasons for the monsters being there. You know what I'm saying? Umbrella Corporation ain't shit. I really like that was a great fucking choice. Like that I don't know why I didn't think to put that in my list. That should have been on my list. The movies.
No. I didn't bring them up for a reason.
I know.
Yeah.
I was just trying to see if there was some way we could slide them in. Not really.
No, not at all.
No. And Black AF headquarters has them, but we only watched them like once. You know what I'm saying?
But on 2 was like, I really didn't play 3. I played it a little bit, but 2, man, the scene on the train when you got to get out of the city, and like that ooze is coming to you, and I'll never forget this. The timer's running, and my boys were watching me, like they was in the room watching me do it, and I was on my Chris shit. I had gun ammo, pistol ammo with no pistol, and I had a Magnum with 6 bullets, and this motherfucker is just creeping up. He's sliding up to me the whole time. and they know, and there's no, I mean, y'all remember the scene, there's no leaving. Like, you gotta go through him. And I'm just like, bow. And it take him a long time to get the shit loaded. And you gotta hit him with the Dirty Harry. And I mean, he got right in my face like this. And I killed that motherfucker just like this. And my boy's like, oh. So yeah, bro. Yeah, it's not a perfect series, but the moments I've had with that, like, nowhere else.
I've already replayed the remakes twice.
Right.
Yeah, them shit's cold, bro. Like, them shit's go.
Even the Dreamcast one was dope, which is slept on too, actually. The one that was exclusive for the Dreamcast. Fuck you, Sega. Fuck you. Yeah. So, Brian, let's go though. This is what you got. We got 2 more apiece. Everybody got 2 apiece.
Me and Pete are gonna agree with this one. But Metal Gear.
Surveys say, ooh.
Metal Gear.
That's my number 1. That's my number 1 all time.
All right, let's do it. Go on, y'all tag team it up. Metal Gear.
Yeah. I'm gonna let him start, because I mean, I know Pete would if he given a chance, Pete would give Solid Snake some work. You know what I'm saying? He if given a chance.
You've seen the naked snake body pillow, okay?
Yeah, he's got a naked snake body pillow in the crib. With the revolver ocelot lotion right next to the bed, brother.
It's not over yet,
It's not over, snake.
Liquid.
Bro, like,
to me, that game. First off, the main character is based off Snake Plissken from Escape from New York.
yes, sir.
And David Hayter he embodies that character so well. The voice acting, everything from the first game, I fell in love with it. Nice.
Sir.
He's been flexing all night.
The first game, like everything about it, it was so unique at the time. You'd never seen anything like it. It was a stealth action game, and you paid for your mistakes in that game. And then the fact that if you beat you got dinged for killing people at the end of chapters. Like for killing people, like you would get negative scores. And that changed the way I played games. To this day, if I can play stealth game, like even if it's a full action, like Call of Duty, I'm sneaking around in multiplayer. I'm sneaking around that map trying to get stealth kills on people just because of Metal Gear. It's so ingrained in how I play games now. I love it. And just the fact, okay, you got to collect everything. You start with nothing. You have to procure everything on site. Just the way the story unfolds, and like you think you know where it's going, and all of a sudden it switches up, and it's been this whole setup the whole time. And then the way they did the second one, and like the second one, if like you think you're gonna play a snake, you play that first chapter of Snake on the tanker, and then all of a sudden you're playing this like blonde pretty boy. Like why?
Right.
And then Snake is on the ship calling himself Iroquois Plissken, which he's basically saying he's Snake Plissken.
Right.
And then that turning into being, we're just recreating what happened at Shadow Moses. And then the third one, which is most people's favorite Metal Gear game, it's a prequel to even the prior NES games. It's Big Boss. It's Snake, but it's before he became Big Boss, and that one just revolutionized how the games were played. It brought out like with the camo, like you had to like whatever area you were in, you had to change your clothes to fit that area, or you'll be spotted easier. And then just the interactions with the like calling people for help or for advice and stuff. And like at one point in the game, you could take off your shirt, and it's the naked option. And every time you get a new weapon or new camo, you would call this guy Figgin. And Figgin will tell you like, you just picked up the rocket launcher. That's great for aerial attacks and things like whatever. He would break it down to you. And so when you call him, hey, Snake, where's your shirt? And I took it off. Why? It feels good. There was the option, and I took it off. But it lowers your camo rating, and it does nothing for you. But it feels good. And it's just those tiny, those funny little interactions. And then like he ends it with, is there a way to take off my pants? And then what? And then he just ends the call.
And people sitting there hoping that he said, yeah.
Yeah, take off the pants. Take off the pants.
Your pants.
And then the Metal Gear 4, you go back to, it's a sequel to 3 or a sequel to 2, and your old Snake, he's aged. His aging has been accelerated. He's dying. He has a virus in his blood that's killing everyone that he cares about, and all he wants to do is just die at the end of that game. And from the beginning of that game, you start off, you're this badass soldier killing everything, or doing like just infiltrating and doing what you got to do, to the very end of the game where you're just exhausted and tired, and you feel that. Like, every game has that emotional journey, and to me, 4 is my favorite. It's a perfect game.
Wow.
It's got long cutscenes, but they're amazing cutscenes. They're really good. Like, everything about that game feels amazing. It had one of the best multiplayers of all time. to this day, I feel like it's one of the best multiplayers. It lets you, like, it was a third-person multiplayer shooter, but you had tranquilizer darts. You can tranquilize somebody, creep up on them, like, while they're knocked out, steal all their weapons, and then you had the option to leave them for dead in the battlefield. So I just took all your weapons, and now you just got to run around while everyone's shooting at you. Or you had the option to kill them. You know, and it was such a fun game. 5 hurts me to talk about because 5 was supposed to be, it's a sequel to 3, and it's supposed to start. This one ends where the Nintendo games start, the original Nintendo game, the Metal Gear games. And at this point, Kojima and Konami were having issues going back and forth. And Kojima just wanted, let me make the game the way I want to make it. And Konami was like, we want you to make the game the way we want you to make it. And so that game's unfinished. Like, once you get to chapter 4, like, you just start replaying old missions. And, like, the storyline kind of goes on, but it's so confusing. It doesn't make any sense. Gameplay-wise, it's great. Gameplay-wise, it feels amazing. It's open world. You can do anything you want in that game, basically. But it's just the story is so fractured, and it shows that they cut the game at the knees. They really did. It has so much potential, and like I still have hope that eventually that'll lead into like them remaking the 2 NES classics in 3D. But like, that's my ultimate dream. Yeah,
they can get these fingers too. Fuck Konami.
To the point, okay, so they released, after 5, they released Survive, right? Which is garbage. But then they started teasing a new Metal Gear game coming soon.
Yeah.
And I'm looking for information, and it was a fucking Plinko machine. Like those fucking, like in Japan, those are huge. It was a Metal Gear fucking Plinko machine.
Because Konami doesn't make they don't make games anymore. That's why they get these fingers. Pieces of shit. They're sitting on Metal Gear. They're sitting on Zoe. They're sitting on Castlevania. They're sitting on all these classic franchises that we would actually play still. So
yeah, that was the thing too with Metal Gear. Going back to the original, when you fought Psycho Mantis and he read your memory card that you like Castlevania, don't you? What? If you had a Konami title on your memory card, you would call it up. And the way he analyzed, like, you've only saved 3 times. You're reckless. You don't like he broke down the way you played the game, and it was like, what? Like, and then the game was just so. And then Metal Gear 4, because you go back and Shadow Moses in 4, and at one point in the first game you have to switch discs because the game is so big, and you get to the point where it's time to switch discs in the first game, and Otacon calls you and says, Snake, it's time to switch discs. And he goes, wait, what am I thinking? This is PS3, Blu-ray. We don't have to do that. Technology is amazing. Like, they call that stuff out, which is like, it's so perfect. They break that fourth wall just enough. Like, it's like you get real deep in the story, then they break the fourth wall just to draw you back just enough, and then get you right back into it. And it's just like the storytelling and everything on it is just, love it.
Hey.
I can legit just go on for an hour about that game.
He can go on for hours with this. So I'm just gonna say, it's not even a tag team. This is he's MJ in '88. He's MJ in '88.
I need your Topps card then, homie. That's 37, 8, and 9 right there. I know them stats.
Right.
I was gonna say it's Shawn Michaels and Marty Jannetty. I do all the work, and you're gonna come in for the hot take.
I think for me, like I have to agree with Pete. For me, the reason Metal Gear for me was amazing is because it got better and better every game as far as like the actual gameplay and the shit you can do. My favorite story is also part 4. A lot of people a lot of people will say like Snake Eater or whatever, but part 4 was dope. Like seeing Snake actually just really break down and you're just like, damn, man. Like, that was I played the original Nintendo shit. So Snake was my guy. Like, so to actually see him get to that point to where he was like dying and exhausted, like, yeah, you feel that shit. And the story is dope. Part 5 was the one. How do I put it? Part 5 was supposed to be the perfect game, and I'd say if, like he said, if they didn't like
Get in the way of it.
get in the way, right? Part 5 would have been like I actually love Part 5, even though it does get to the point to where like the missions are repetitive and shit. I love what you can do in it, gameplay wise. I love what you can do in that shit.
Right, right. All right, let's I know, Pete's got to see a guy about a thing. So let's lock all this up in about 5 minutes. I'm going to give my 2 now. And then if y'all got any more, if you got your honorable mentions, we can get to those. So my number 2 is Final Fantasy. My life has never been the same since Final Fantasy VII. I'll just put it to you like that. And the thing, and this is a real quick story before I say the number 1. Me and my friends were rushing to see who could beat that game first, because it was 3 discs. Y'all remember that? And we were rushing to see, and I got to Sephiroth first. And no one had seen what I had seen up until this point. And he's you had the matches where you split up. You had your team over here and your team over here, and then you met, and then you had to go fight Sephiroth. And then the screen goes black, and then the music starts playing. And I had PTSD from a fucked up PlayStation, so I was like, "Oh shit, it's cracking again. It's going down again. Not right now." And then it came back on, and then you hear and then this motherfucker just he goes dawning down, and it's like, oh my goodness, like I couldn't believe what was going on. And that's when I found out Pale Horses and Supernova, and that was it, and it was over for me. My last one, and this is to bring it all full circle.
Hold on, before you go there though, with Final Fantasy, did you play any of the other ones, or was it just?
Bro, 7 got me playing. I played 7 twice because of that shit. And then I played Tactics. Tactics blew my mind. Final Fantasy Tactics, like that blew my mind. And then I played 8. I worked that out. I played 9. I worked that out. I even played 10. Damn. I worked that out. I think 11 was the first online one. I played 12, and 12 was at the end. Yes, thank you, Key. 12 was at the end of the PlayStation 2 run, but they knew how to maximize the engine at that point. That game was beautiful. And I don't know if you played it, but as a story 12? Guy, yeah, you would love 12. Like you would love 12. Like the story was phenomenal. And they had changed the gameplay. Like, yeah, it was that's probably the best one in terms of like gameplay, graphics, and narrative, in my opinion. I know the other ones have gone more MMO, and I know you played the last one with the boy band, but
what, 15?
Yeah, I didn't play. I got out of it after a while because they kept going back to 10 with the 10-2, and they was moving in a different direction. But
then that was the one with the dude to play soccer or some shit. No, I never played it.
Yeah, and that game was whatever. Like, no, all jokes aside, everything that I liked about that game was in the side stuff, the side quests, the side stories, but everything about the actual game, that didn't matter. I'm gonna keep talking. Black as fuck, all day, every day. Shout out to Dank Tank. Last but not least, for me, it's my number 1 is Mega Man. And it goes back to the Resident Evil thing because everybody knows my favorite all-time franchise is Devil May Cry. But if there's no Mega Man, And if there's no Resident Evil, I never get Mega Man. I never get Devil May Cry. I never get Devil May Cry. Mega Man was the first game from a side-scrolling that made it, they gave value to every boss that you fight. Choose your own adventure. And then who you fought changed the strategy of who you went to fight the next time. And it incorporated, oh, I can beat this dude and get a weapon. No other game had done that at that point, which is the base for what Devil May Cry is. When you beat the boss, you get the weapon from them. That came from Mega Man. Resident Evil. Anybody that's played DMC1, DMC1 is a buggy Resident Evil for the PlayStation 2. That's what that game originally was. And they maximized it from there. And if it wasn't for those two entities, I never get Devil May Cry 1, I never get 2, I never get 3, even though 2 and 4 are trash, but I never get Bayonetta, the real DMC 2. So Mega Man is, there are a lot of action games that I never play that I love if there's no Mega Man. Mega Man 2 and 3 and 4, I burned them out. I worked them out. 9 and 10, I worked them out. X1, 2, and 3, and 4, worked them out. 0 all day. Fuck Mega Man. I'm Proto Man. I'm 0. I got the Mega Man RPG on PS2. That shit's underrated. Mega Man. So Mega Man was on number 1. My honorable mention outside of this, Legacy of Kain, for sure.
Woo!
And Sonic the Hedgehog, fam. Those are my 2 honorable mentions. Sonic the Hedgehog. So
Legacy of Kain, that's a good one. Yes. The whole thing. Soul Reaver, all that together.
All of them.
It all counts. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And to me, that's the Game of Thrones of the games right there. Like if anybody plays that knows that story, like Anne Henning, like, yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. So, but you got one more? Are you good? Where you at? We lost Pete.
We could go all day. We could go all day, but you know what I'm saying? We go all day with games and franchises that I fuck with. Because another one that I would think of, God of War is up there for me. Just because of the story.
Yeah, can't be mad at that. But there's no God of War, there's no Devil May Cry, and there's no Devil May Cry, there's no Mega Man. So that's why I said Mega Man.
Right. You're right. I didn't even think that far back with Mega Man. But if we starting to go to old systems, Legend of Zelda, like, I mean,
yeah.
You're talking the story, right? You're talking shit that's been around for since we were shorties, and it's still like out now. It's still
relevant.
I'm gonna tell you. We had the first Legend of Zelda on the Nintendo. We flipped that. That shit was hard. Okay, and then they came out with part 2, which wasn't really a real Legend of Zelda game. They just slapped a name on it. We played it anyway. And then every single iteration of Legend of Zelda that came out, we played it all the way up to now, where they had the one for the Switch. I bought the Switch just for that fucking game.
Yeah, that game, yes.
That shit go. And I flipped it, Breath of the Wild, right. I flipped it and then handed the Switch off with the game to my goddaughter so she could like be introduced to the shit. That, like, Legend of Zelda is huge. That's for me, it's huge.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, but there's so many of those. And then, you know, being writers, you're a writer, I'm a writer. And the type of shit we into when you're talking like sci-fi, fantasy, that kind of stuff, a lot of that stuff was born out of them games. Like, that's what kind of turns you into that shit. Like my aunts and uncles and shit, they was into like sci-fi and fantasy movies. But when you actually got to manipulate the main character of a sci-fi or fantasy game, like that's when I really got into wanting to be a storyteller.
Bro, like it took me it took a while for Metroid and Dead Space to come off of this list for me, because like Metroid is the first survival horror. let's just keep it real. And then the surprise ending, like they were doing shit in '86 that nobody else was doing by far.
Right.
And you know, and then Dead Space. One of the reasons why I didn't put Dead Space, because you know they got 3 games, but the third one is such a a disparity from the other ones. It's so different, and that's comes from the Resident Evil third player or third person perspective. So you that's where it came from. But in terms of a narrative in that first one, like, and then the small hint of strategy they put where you had to take out the limbs of the character, you couldn't just pop them. So you had to, it made you think just a little bit about what you was doing because you did not have a lot of ammo. Because you weren't even you was just a guy that was trying to do your job. And these motherfuckers turned up and started eating your people. And so you had to figure it out. And Dead Space is the story of that series. Dead Space 2 is the action movie of that series. The 3 is the stepchild. Like, that's Contra in space. The first 2 were Resident Evil in space. Like, you might as well give you a 30-man code in the third one, because that game was just run and gun. Like, they literally gave them guns after having like tools the entire time in the franchise. But Metroid took a while to come off for sure. Well, we hope Pete is safe. We've done this before where wives have snatched our co-hosts. So this ain't our first rendezvous, Pete. We hope you are safe and at home. And we'll be back on the show next Monday at 6:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And we'll make sure to be more prompt about it. But this is part of your fault because you helped plan this. So, you're not above reproach. We will get into best intros next week. Have your list ready. Have your list ready. Have your list ready. That's gonna be fun. I already got y'all beat. I already know what I'm killing the game with the best intro. Y'all. I'm just gonna play I'm gonna find a mixtape or a disc play or something. But yeah, it's gonna be over. B, before we get out of here, anything you want to say?
Nah,
YouTube.
I'm
You just ready to play your 5?
I'm gonna turn around right there.
Yeah.
Maybe the X.
Yeah.
Maybe the box. Maybe the PS5.
Or
maybe the PS3. I'm feeling nostalgic. Maybe I'll go back a little bit.
I'm a little envious. What can I say? It is what it is. I'll be back though. You'll see one of these days. Well, thank you for being with Brotherhood Language Approaching Conversation Kinetically about fiction. We are Black AF. We are Black as fuck, depending on who you are. But we will always be here tomorrow. Not tomorrow. Next week, 6:30 p.m. Monday Pacific Standard Time. We're gonna get this thing sorted out with the website so y'all can check us out. But we will be back on our website. Thank you, Key Dank Tank, for showing up. Johnny Patio for coming through. Pete, this is what happens when you try to flex some other logo. You get snatched off. You get kicked out. Like, this is Death Row, son. This is how we do it. That's where it's at. So, yeah. All right, y'all. Peace.
Brotherhood language approaching conversation kinetically about fiction. This is Black as